Okay, hello, you guys look ready to go. Let's get this party started. My name is Elizabeth. I'm your instructor. You're in a Pilates-inspired fitness class, and for props today, we will be using dumbbells and toilet paper. Oh, that's cute. I have a little toilet paper flap. Okay. All right, so toilet paper and dumbbells. Wipe out Wednesday, get it? Okay, let's reach those arms into goalpost and then kick one foot to the side, come to center, and switch, and continue. And breathe. All right, guys, with this simple move, I'd like to request of you to keep your workout with me this morning. You guessed it, pain-free. So that means comfortably uncomfortable is okay, but pain is not. So anytime you're feeling pain, please do something different so you are no longer feeling pain. All right, for 3 and 2 and 1, and come back to center. Swing those arms from side to side. Notice how this feels. We will revisit this move a few times, and I want you to notice if it begins to feel different. For 2 and 1. All right, guys, then let's reach those arms straight in front, kick one foot back, come to center, and switch, and continue. So we're just warming up the body, moving the major muscle groups, and breathing. Nice to see all y'all in my Pilates room this morning. I feel so lucky that I can wake up, come into the next room, see all your beautiful faces, get a workout in, and it's a really fun thing. I love it. So I thank you guys for coming to class. All right, guys, for 3 and 2, and the next time you have a foot out, pause and arms in front. Then let's bend that knee and straighten, bend and straighten. So we're keeping that knee back in space. So that's different than bringing the knees together. So keeping that foot back in space is going to recruit those back body muscles more. And then let's come into a biceps curl and straighten, biceps curl and straighten, and continue. All right, so we're feeling the front of the arms and the back of the leg for 4 and 3, 2 and 1. Reach those arms to the side. Good. And then let's lift that straight leg and lower, lift and lower, and continue squeezing that back booty cheek. And then we'll reach those arms back as we lift the leg and continue. So we're still feeling the back of that leg, but notice how we're feeling a different part. Actually, I guess it's kind of more the butt. Well, at any rate, back of that side for 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Come back to center. Notice how one booty cheek feels different than the other. So let's fix that. So kicking that other leg out behind, keeping that knee still in space. This time we'll bend the elbows back behind us like chicken wings. And well, actually, sorry, I had you start by bending. So bend and straighten, and then let's kick those hands back towards that foot and breathe. Squeeze those shoulder blades together behind you, coming into that heart opening, and breathe. Feeling that back hamstring for 4 and some balance, and 3 and 2 and 1. Let's kick that foot back behind, and then this time we'll open those arms to a T, lift those toes in space, and do it again. And continue. And breathe. Yep. For 4 and 3, 2 and 1. And come back to center. And then swing those arms from side to side. Take the feel goods for 3, 2 and 1. Okay, let's come into a step apart with those feet. Toes are slightly externally rotated. Reaching those arms out to the side, softness in the elbows, bend the knees, hug a big imaginary tree, and straighten those arms, and do it again. And continue. If this movement is uncomfortable for you, any other movement is okay. And you might notice if you pivot those toes forward, discomfort will go away. So depending on your anatomy, maybe not. But at any rate, just know that you're always welcome and encouraged to modify if anything is painful. For 3 and 2. And the next time those knees are bent, pause, reach those arms into goalposts. Kind of feel like a frog here. And then let's lift those heels and lower. Lift and lower. And continue. And then reach those arms overhead and bend. Reach and bend. And continue. Feeling those inner thighs, feeling those quadriceps, feeling those biceps, feeling those triceps, feeling those shoulders, feeling those calves, maybe feeling your heart rate elevating. For 3 and 2. And the next time you're on your tippy toes, pause. Let's reach the arms down to the side, just rest those arms. And then bend the knees, bring that booty back and lift, lower, and lift, and continue. So any modification is okay, a rest is okay. And breathe, woo, really feeling those inner thighs. For 4, little balance challenge. And 3, 2, and 1, and come up to center, drop those heels down. Good job, guys. So feeling lots of muscles. Swing those arms from side to side. For 3 and 2 and 1, and come back to center. All right, then let's bring one knee into tabletop, bend those elbows into a right angle, lower and switch and continue. All right, guys, so we are breathing just with this simple move. So I don't know about you guys, but that last little exercise got my heart rate quite elevated. And even though I'm pretty certain I don't have COVID, it's funny, every time I get out of breath, I'm like, oh my gosh, do I have COVID? But no, that's normal. Yeah, so we were moving the major muscle groups of the body, even though we weren't moving big movements, there were a lot of muscles recruited. And breathe for 4 and 3, 2, balance challenge. Actually, let's come into a balance challenge. So the next time you have a knee lifted, pause, and then pivot those palms so they're facing in. Reach one arm overhead, reach the other arm back in space, come to center and switch, and continue. Taking that balance challenge and breathing. You guys look awesome. Loving it. Yeah. For 4 and 3, 2 and 1. Let's reach those arms to the side. Keep that foot lifted, and then coming into more of a balance challenge. Maybe pause for a millisecond when you blink, close one eye, maybe close the other eye. Just coming into that balance challenge for 3 and 2 and 1, and place that foot down. Good job. Other knee into tabletop. And then let's reach those arms forward and back and forward and back and continue. And you are breathing. Yep. Whew. For 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. The next time those arms are at your sides, pause, and then let's lift those shoulders and release. Lift and release and continue. What do you know? I don't know. All right. Anyways, we're breathing, we're working those shoulder muscles. By the way, sometimes when we recruit those muscles and bring those shoulders up, when we release them, it's more of a pronounced release. So if ever your shoulders are bothering you, this is a good trick. Okay, and then pause with those shoulders down, definitely pausing in the down position, and then coming back to the balance challenge. So maybe close one eye, maybe the other, or pause for a millisecond when you blink, and just challenge yourself in a safe manner for 3 and 2 and 1, and come back to center. Nice job, you guys. And swing those arms from side to side. For 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Okay, let's come into a little cardio blast. So perhaps you'd like to reach those arms overhead and come into a march. I see the jacket's coming off. Mine's going to come off in just a second too. Or you can do what Lisa's doing, which I suspect is going off and running the stairs. Or you can do any other cardio movement that feels good. If you reach with those arms overhead, it will lend to increasing your heart rate more than if you don't. And breathe. Whoa. There's some music. We can dance. Actually, I'm all by myself. No one's here but me. Oh, there's Catherine. Hey. Oh, she was just passing through. And breathe. Linda. I'll turn the music down. One thing I don't like is when I'm watching videos and suddenly the music gets really loud. So even though that was momentarily fun, I will not be in that category of people making videos who do that. All right, loving it. Linda running in circles, I think. Yeah, yeah. And breathing. All right. Oh, and there's Catherine passing through. She's like, howdy, just passing through. Oh my gosh. All right, guys, so we'll go for just about 15 more seconds. That'll put us in the 2-minute mark, and then Lisa, she is off again. Loving it, and breathing. All right, and 3. Oh, and Lynn back just in time, and 2, and 1, and pause. Wow, you guys timed that well. Like everyone just magically showed up. Okay, let's swing those arms from side to side. For 4, and 3, 2, and 1, and come back to center. Nice job. I can actually see you guys breathing, so I can tell you got your heart rates up. All right, let's bend those knees just a little bit, and then make sure that both knees are pointed straight forward. Then keep one knee pointed straight forward. Take the other leg back and tap it back behind and also to the side, and come to center. And switch, and switch. All right, guys, so as we're doing this, I want to make sure that your standing knee is staying straight forward. Particularly if anybody has knee issues or knee replacement or knee replacement coming up or anything like that, we definitely want to keep those knees stable in space as we're going through this range of motion. So that's our priority. So if you need to take one foot and step it back, if that feels better for you, that's totally an option. We're going to build onto this, but I want to make sure that we're in touch with the idea of that standing knee pointing straight forward. All right, guys, then let's bend those knees a little bit more as we're going through this range of motion. Yeah, and notice how it's becoming quite challenging, feeling lots of booty, feeling quadriceps, feeling lots of muscles. We're going to play with this a little bit more. And again, if this is painful, just kick one foot back and then the other foot back. You'll be getting many of the same benefits. All right, for 3, whoops, that was a challenge. And 2, and the next time you have a foot back, pause. All right, so we've got one foot back, the other knee is tracking right over those toes. Let me just, okay, that was a little too much ABBA. Okay, so we've got one foot back. Then we're going to take that back leg and we're going to lift and tap, and continue. And breathe. So we're kicking all the work over into that standing leg. And then just for fun, for arm movements, let's come into biceps curls. And breathe. So there's lots going on here. And again, if this twisty position isn't feeling good for you, no big deal. Just pivot all your body parallel. And breathe. Oh, for 4, and 3, 2, and 1, and come to center. Oh my gosh. So one side feels completely different than the other. Let's go ahead and fix that. So we'll bend both knees, and then keeping that knee tracking over the toes, we'll kick the other foot back. And then we'll bend a little bit lower and pause. So we're just waking up all these muscles. And then let's shift our weight forward, and that back foot, let's begin to lift and tap, and lift and tap, and continue. All right, and then for this arm movement, we'll pull the elbows back and pull the elbows back. So since we're kind of leaning forward, it's a little bit like a lat row for our back muscles as we lift those elbows. And breathe, looking so good. Yeah, loving it. Keeping that core tight. Is your standing knee straightening? If it is, and it feels okay, maybe recommit to bending it even more. The more that knee is bent, the more those muscles will be working. For 4, looking good. And 3, 2, and glorious. 1, and come to center. Oh, yeah, definitely feeling that. I'm seeing those faces. All right, guys. And then let's bend the knees, bring the booty back in space. This time, everything is just parallel. There's not a twisty thing going on. And then we'll bend the elbows into a biceps curl. Come on to those tippy toes. Can you lift those heels higher? Are you squeezing those booty cheeks? We're finding mobility and stability in our ankles. Yeah, I can see everyone's ankles are shaking, so are mine. So let's just go ahead and keep that and then come into a triceps extension and breathe, trying to keep those heels even higher. Think drag queen stilettos. Oh, and breathe. Yeah, loving it. So this is pretty hard. For 4 and 3, 1 and 2 and 1. Come up to standing. Nice job. Okay, we're going to take this down to the mat. Really good work. So that was super hard. So coming down to the mat. Remember that roll of toilet paper? Let's grab that roll of toilet paper. That's crazy. Just sitting down on my tush after that work, I can feel those muscles like, holy cow. All right, guys. So we're going to exhaust those muscles a little bit more. So let's take that roll of toilet paper. We'll put it under our left foot. Both knees are bent. Both feet are flat. And lie all the way down onto the back. Oh, that feels pretty good. All right, so just lying on your back. Give your body a second to adjust to this new position. And then let's that left foot on the roll of toilet paper just lift and tap and lift and tap. So just tiny movements. And breathe for 3 and 2 and 1. And then lightly place your foot on that roll of toilet paper. And then keeping your head down, take an inhale. As you exhale, lift those hips and keep those hips lifted. All right, guys. Then lift and tap and lift and tap. That roll of toilet paper, shifting all that work over into the right booty cheek. Oh. And breathe for 4 and 3, 2. And then let's bring that knee all the way into a tabletop position. So knee is in a tabletop position, and then kick that leg long, bring it back into tabletop, and do it again. And continue. Just breathing, keeping the head down. Arms are wherever feels good for you. For 3 and 2. All right, guys, next time that leg is long, pause. Make it so those knees are together and your left leg is long, and then keep that left leg straight, lower down, tap that roll of toilet paper lightly. It'll tap at your calf area, and then lift just to where the knees are together and do it again. So if you're lifting your foot straight up to the ceiling, go ahead and pause and omit doing that. It just come up as high as to where those knees are together. And that smaller range of motion is actually harder. Holy cow, I am feeling this a lot. For 4 and 3 and 2 and 1, and then place that foot back to the roll of toilet paper and roll down vertebrae by vertebrae. Oh, nice job, guys. All right, go ahead and take a step apart with those feet and begin to windshield wiper those knees from side to side, taking the feel goods. For 4 and 3 and 2 and 1, and coming back to center. All right, then let's take that roll of toilet paper and then we'll place our right foot on top of it. So both knees are bent, and then our right foot is now resting on the roll of toilet paper. And then let's lift and tap and lift and tap and continue. Yep. For 3 and 2 and 1, and pause. And then lightly have your right foot resting on that roll of toilet paper. Take an inhale, exhale, lift those hips. Then with those hips lifted, let's begin to lift and tap and continue. So we're kicking all that work over to the left side of our lower body. Also, guys, notice if your hips are moving around. If you're not sure, you can place your hands on your hip bones and see if those bones are moving. Is your pelvis moving? And if your hips are moving, see if you can find that pelvic stability to where they are not moving for 3 and 2. And then let's pause with that knee in a tabletop position. And then let's kick that leg long, bringing those knees together, bend it back into tabletop, and do it again. And breathe. Yep, keeping that pelvis stable. Oh, this kind of work sneaks up on you. In the beginning, it was like, no big deal. And suddenly it's like, okay, I'm feeling this. This is a bigger deal. All right, guys, for 3 and 2. And the next time that leg is out long, pause. And then those knees are together. Your right leg is straight. And then lower that right leg down. Lightly tap that roll of toilet paper, which should now be under your calf as you lower down. And again, finding that stable pelvis will make this more challenging than if your pelvis is moving around freely. Oh, yep. And breathing for 4 and 3, 2, and 1. And then let's place that foot back onto the roll of toilet paper and roll down vertebrae by vertebrae. Nice job. Take a step apart with those feet. Windshield wiper those knees from side to side. Whew. For 3 and 2 and 1. And come back to center. And then let's place that roll of toilet paper between the feet. Yeah, so we're just going to kind of hug the roll of toilet paper with the feet. Place the fingertips behind the head. Crunch is optional. If you'd like, you can come into a crunch, or you can keep your head, neck, and torso flat. Either is fine. Take an inhale. As you exhale, let's lift those knees into tabletop, bringing that roll of toilet paper straight in front and lower and lift, and continue. For 4 and 3, 2. Okay, guys, the next time those knees are in a tabletop, pause. Okay. Then do come into a crunch position with your head, neck, and torso. Take your right elbow towards your left knee. Come to center and switch and continue. So we're just kind of rocking from side to side in our torso, although rocking, kind of that word connotes a little momentum and gravity. So let's actually in a controlled manner come to one side and then release and then come to the other side and continue and breathe for 5 and 4, 3, 2, and 1. Reach those fingertips forward towards that roll of toilet paper. And then let's reach those arms back as we kick those legs long. And then bend the knees, reach the hands towards the roll of toilet paper, and do it again. Woo! And breathe for 4 and 3 and 2. And then grab that roll of toilet paper in your hands and place those feet on the mat, and then put that roll of toilet paper between the knees. All right. Head, neck, and torso down. Roll of toilet paper between the knees. And notice the distance between your knees. It's probably a few inches, depending on the type of toilet paper you have. But match that distance with your feet. So our feet are a little bit separated, as are the knees. Then take an inhale. As you exhale, lift those hips. Keep those hips lifted. Keep your head down. Come onto your tippy toes. And then squeeze that roll of toilet paper and release. Squeeze and release. And continue. You are breathing on those tippy toes, squeezing that roll of toilet paper and releasing, feeling lots of muscles recruited, invited to the party. And breathing. Whew, for 4, 3, 2. The next time you're squeezing, hold the squeeze, guys. And then let's lift just a couple of inches more and release, and lift a couple of inches more and release, and continue and squeeze, squeezing those booty cheeks, squeezing that roll of toilet paper on those tippy toes, lifting and lowering those hips. By the way, even though this is lower back body work, we're also opening our heart. This bridging position inherently is the opposite of us as we lean forward over our daily lives. So we're checking that box too as we're doing this exercise, finding that heart opening sensation for 3 and 2 and 1, and then release the squeeze, roll down vertebrae by vertebrae. Nice job. Reach up and grab that roll of toilet paper And then take that roll of toilet paper and just place it under your neck. So it's like a pillow, in a comfortable manner. And then open those arms to a T, kick those legs long, and just take a few deep breaths. And notice the muscles that you're feeling and how they feel after working them as we just did. For 3 and 2 and 1. And then I want you to gently press your head into the roll of toilet paper and release, and do it again. Gently press your head into the roll of toilet paper and release, and continue. So anytime we do neck work, guys, we want to keep it really, really minimal. So we're not on a scale of 1 to 10. This is like a 3 or a 4. Definitely not a 7, 8, 9, or a 10. And breathe and continue. And then the next time you have, you're pressing your head into that roll of toilet paper, pause and just hold that isometric contraction again at about a level of 3 on a 1 to 10 scale. So we're not exerting a huge amount of energy or effort into this, but I'll tell you what's happening is frequently, just as our whole life is in front of us and we're leaning forward, our head is also jutting forward. So if you think about when you're looking at your phone, when you're working on your computer, so our head is frequently jutted forward, and we're energetically training our head to not do that, coming into the opposite movement. So we're applying pressure, working the head muscles in the opposite direction of where the head is frequently, where we don't want it. I did not explain that well, but at any rate, I think you guys know what I mean. For 3 and 2 and 1, and release that pressure, and then remove that roll of toilet paper from under your head and just lie your head flat on the mat and take a moment of stillness and notice how that feels. Maybe it feels a little bit different. Maybe you feel a different sensation in your head and your neck because your head is just resting. For 3 and 2 and 1. Okay, guys, then let's roll onto the side. It does not matter which side. We'll switch in just a moment. And we'll take that roll of toilet paper and we'll place it under our knees. Sorry, in between the knees. So we'll place that roll of toilet paper between the knees. Okay, and then we're lying on our side. So you can either have your head resting on your bicep. You can be in the position I'm in. You can even come up onto your elbow. And then let's lift the feet and lift the knees. So knees are lifted, feet are lifted. We've got a roll of toilet paper between the knees. And then let's squeeze that roll of toilet paper, reaching the top arm up to the ceiling, and continue. So just an isometric contraction. There are a lot of muscles that are recruited. You can't tell in the camera, so I'll show you. But my knees are hovering in space. So that dumbbell is below my knees. All right, and then we're squeezing that roll of toilet paper. Yeah, so you should feel muscles in your oblique area. You should feel your inner thighs working. So lots of muscles working for 4, 3, 2, and then let's reach that arm back towards the wall overhead, up to the ceiling, and do it again. So just getting some mobility in that shoulder area. And then let's do a concerted squeeze as the arm comes to the ceiling, and then release as we reach behind, and do it again, and continue, and you are breathing. Suddenly this is feeling a little intense. It wasn't in the beginning. For 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Let's take that hand, put it down on the mat in front of us, and then kick those legs long, bend those knees into tabletop, and do it again, and continue. If this is hurting your hip, you guys can slightly roll onto your back. Or you can even roll on your back and just pivot those knees to the side. So I know that depending on your anatomy, maybe you've got a bone right there that this is bothersome for. So just make the move make sense for you. For 4 and 3, feeling this quite a bit. Are you still squeezing that roll of toilet paper? And 2, I'm seeing those faces. And 1, let those knees come down. Let's bring those knees directly in front of the hips so our body's in a figure 4 type. And then we'll take that top arm up and over, coming into that side body stretch. And breathe. If you're hearing knocking, it's my husband making sure my kid is in class. He is, so that's good. For 4 and 3, 2 and 1. All right, guys. Then let's come back onto our side. We'll lift time those knees are lifted, and we'll straighten those legs and lift and straighten and continue. Yep, still good. We still have that roll of toilet paper between the knees for 4 and 3, 2. And the next time those legs are long, pause. Okay, this is a little tricky. And then let's roll onto the back. Feet are lifted. Press ourselves up. And then reach one arm forward and the other arm forward. So we're now in a teaser position, which I am not going to be able to maintain. So I'll just modify. So so in that teaser position, and then maybe bring those knees in and kick those legs long, and do it again and continue. Yeah, you guys look amazing. Beautiful. Loving the variations and modifications, by the way, for 4 and 3 and 2 and 1, and pause and place those feet flat, and then let's come down to the elbows. All right, let's keep that roll of toilet paper between the knees, elbows down, take an inhale. As you exhale, lift those hips. So coming into a reverse plank situation. By the way, if this does not feel good, you're welcome to come onto your hands. You're breathing, and then let's squeeze and release, and continue, and breathe for 4 and 3, 2 and 1. Release the squeeze, and then tap that booty and lift, tap and lift, and continue. And you are breathing for 4 and 3 and 2, and bring that booty all the way down. Nice job. All right, guys. And then let's just pivot ourselves over so our head is facing the other way. And then let's reach those legs forward. Press yourself up and back into that teaser position. Reach one arm forward and the other arm forward, holding that teaser, and breathe and squeeze and release and squeeze and release. And I'm going to come down, but you guys are welcome to hold and breathe for 4 and 3, 2 and 1. Good. And then bend the knees, place the feet flat. Yep. And then let's roll towards the camera again. So that was some smooth choreography, huh? Here we are. Yeah, I impressed myself. All right, guys. And then let's, we'll lift the knees and squeeze that roll of toilet paper. Again, I'll show you that I've got, my knees are in fact lifted. And squeeze. Good. And breathe and hold. Squeezing and release. Squeeze and release. And then let's add some arm into the movement. So we'll reach the arms overhead as we squeeze, and then reach the arm up towards the ceiling as we release, and do it again. And you are breathing. Yep, keeping that core so tight. And again, notice how you're feeling your oblique muscles working too. So that's kind of cool. For 4 and 3, 2 and 1, and let's take the hand and put it down, and then keeping that roll of toilet paper between the legs or knees. Let's go ahead and straighten those knees and bend and straighten. And again, if it makes more sense for you to pivot on back onto that hip a little bit, so it's more comfortable for you, then please do that. And breathe. Oh, wow, curiously, I'm feeling this more in my oblique area than with the movement. Maybe it's, yeah, anyways. Bodies are fascinating. It's so cool to notice what you're feeling and when. Oh, feeling this quite a bit for 4 and 3, 2 and 1. And then let's bring those knees back in front of us. Rest those knees so our body is in a figure 4. Take that top arm forward, up towards the ceiling and back behind. Just taking that stretch. And breathe. For 3 and 2 and 1, and come back over towards this, coming back onto your side. And then let's kick those legs long with those feet hovering, and then we'll tap and lift and tap and lift and continue. Again, really feeling these muscles in here and breathing. And again, if it makes more sense for you to slightly lean back a little bit, that's totally an option. And breathe for 4 and 3, 2 and 1, and come back to center. All right, guys, let's go ahead and grab that roll of toilet paper, and then we'll take that roll of toilet paper and just place it under our ear. Yep. So, and then we'll reach the arms in front and we'll lift those feet. So feet are lifted, and then open and close and open and close and continue. For 4 and 3, 2, and the next time everything is lifted, pause, and then reach that arm overhead to kick that top leg long and bend and long and bend and continue. Notice what's going on in your midsection. Begin to tuck your tummy in towards your spine even more, and notice if you can feel this more in your midsection. For 4 and 3 and 2. Okay, guys, the next time everything is long, pause. We'll take that hand and we'll just rest it at our side, but let's pivot those rear toes down. So I'll do that again. So we're just in this position and we're pivoting those toes down. Then take those toes forward and tap, and then up and over and behind and tap, and do it again. So we're making sort of rainbow arcs with that foot and that leg. And notice how we're targeting a different area in that booty. Feeling this quite a bit, actually. By the way, is that bottom foot still hovering? And breathe for 4 and 3. Really nice. You guys are doing a great job. And 2, I'm loving what I'm seeing. And 1, and come back to center. Oh my gosh. So feeling that quite a bit, right? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And then let's lie onto the back, and we'll separate those knees and just gently rock those knees from side to side, taking that feel-good sensation. For 4 and 3, 2, and 1. Good. And then let's press ourselves up so we're on our hands. Yep, knees are bent. We'll just set the roll of toilet paper to the side for a moment. And then lift those hips. And then walk yourself so you're facing forward, facing me. And then let's walk ourselves to the other side. And then bring the booty down. Nice job. Again, I'm so impressed with these transitions. Let's lie on our side, facing me, facing you. All right, and then let's see. We will take this roll of toilet paper and place it under the ear. Yep, looking good. And then we'll lift those feet in space. Bring those hands together, and we'll open and close, and open and close, and continue, and breathe. Keeping that core tight, keeping those shoulders down and back. Yep, feeling that outer thigh area. Loving it. For 4 and 3 and 2. And the next time that arm is up, pause. Let's lift that ankle in space. And then kick everything long and bring it back in, and kick it long and bring it back in, and continue. Whew. And breathe. Yep, loving it. You guys look so good. For 4, yep, breathing. Notice the muscles that you're feeling. And 3 and 2. And the next time that leg is long, pause. We'll just rest that top arm and then pivot those top toes down. And then we'll tap those toes in the front, up and over, and tap in the back. And do it again, and continue. And notice again how you're feeling that different area in your glute. Believe it or not, this muscle is kind of hard to target, and most people have a very, the muscle that we're targeting right now, for most people it's quite weak, which causes back pain. So I've gone to the physical therapist a number of times for back pain, and he's, or she, has always had me work on strengthening this muscle. And breathe. He was like, you got weak glutes. I'm like, nope, you're wrong. What are you talking about? I'm crazy strong. He's like, nope, you got weak glutes. And lo and behold, he was right. When he told me how to work this particular muscle, I was exhausted quickly. So you might be feeling that right now. For 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Good. All right, guys. And then we'll do one more stretch. So reach those arms up in front. Take that arm up and over. You can remove that roll of toilet paper and just find stillness in the stretch. So I am certified to be a Pilates instructor through Amy Cady, and she's really, really impressive. But at any rate, she trained the Circus Ole. I think I'm saying that wrong. But anyways, like those circus people who are like crazy, amazing athletes in Pilates. And turns out they had very weak cores, and the exercises in Pilates, they were amazed how hard it was, and they were able to do all these amazing things, but they were lacking that core strength. So she helped them correct that. I always think that's a fascinating story. For 3 and 2 and 1, and then let's lie on the back. Again, separate those knees and then just shimmy those knees from one side to the other and continue. So the reason why I was sharing that story with you is it's possible to be like really strong and then have certain muscle deficiencies where they're not strong. And it's always surprising. To a much lesser extent, I felt that at the PT's office. For 3 and 2 and 1. All right, guys, let's roll over, switching gears, coming onto all fours. So coming onto all fours, grab the dumbbells and place your hands on the dumbbells in an all fours position. And then kick one foot out behind, come back to center, and kick the other foot out behind and come back to center and continue. So we've done a lot of back body work this morning. So notice how the booty feels as you're going through this range of motion. Those muscles are already a little fatigued, which is great because it gives us a clearer idea as to what's going on back there because we can feel it more. Yeah, for 3 and 2. And then next time you have a leg behind you, it does not matter which, reach the opposite arm in front. Yeah, and breathe for 4, 3, 2, and then come back to center and kick the other leg back and the opposite arm out in front. And hold for 3, 2, 1, and then begin marching from side to side again, but also add out, reaching one arm in front and then the other arm in front, and continue. And Lynn, I am noticing that you are using weighted balls. Kudos to you for that balance. I'm sure this is quite a bit more challenging because it's hard for me to balance with my flat dumbbells. So sorry, didn't mean to distract you. You're doing great. And breathing for 4 and 3, 2 and 1, and come back to center. All right, guys. Then, okay, let's take a stretch. Bring that booty back towards the heels. Walk those hands forward. Coming into the stretch, just allowing your torso to melt down for 3 and 2 and 1, and come back to center with those knees and those hands underneath you. All right, guys. Then keeping a right angle bend in those knees, lift one knee straight out behind, lower, and lift the other knee, and continue. Notice if there's a pronounced shift or rocking from side to side, and see if you can prevent that from happening. And breathe. Okay, and then adding in arms for 2. The next time both knees are down, pause. Then I want you to bend your left elbow, lifting it way high in the air, and lower, and switch, and switch, and continue, and breathe. So this is triceps and back. And then as you lift one elbow, pause, also bring the opposite foot back in that right angle and lower and switch, and continue. Again, Lynn, I'm crazy impressed that you're doing this with weighted balls. Feeling that stability challenge. For 4, and 3, looking so good. 2, you guys look awesome. Okay, the next time everything is lifted, pause. All right, so it doesn't matter which side, but you've got one elbow and one knee lifted. Then keeping the elbow where it is and the knee where it is, straighten everything out and bend and straighten and bend. So we're keeping that knee lifted in space. We're keeping the elbow lifted in space. So feeling lots of back, lots of triceps, lots of booty stabilization going on, some balance for 4 and 3. Notice if that elbow is sinking. If it is, try to hoist it back up towards the ceiling. And 2 and 1 and come to center. Nice job. Let's lift the other knee. Lifting the other elbow and hold. Good. And then let's begin to straighten everything out and bend and straighten. Yeah. And continue. And breathe. Yeah, looking good. Notice if that knee is lowering or the elbow, and if so, recommit to hoisting them up towards the ceiling. Once again, you guys, this class flew by. You got just about 3 minutes left. For 3 and 2 and 1 and pause. Come back to center, both knees down. Separate those knees. Bring that booty back towards the heels. Walk those hands forward. Coming back into that forward fold stretch. For 3 and 2 and 1, and then bring those hands back towards your torso. In other words, come to a upright position. Good. We'll keep our lower body as it is. However, if this doesn't work for you, you're welcome to come to any other position. Even standing is fine. Reach those arms into a goalpost position, and then bring one elbow down towards one hip, up to center, and switch, and switch, and switch, and continue. So I'm going to need to stop doing this, but you guys continue if this feels okay. So you're feeling the muscles on one side get closer together while these ones stretch, and then switching. So you're feeling oblique work. We're moving in a different plane of motion. For 4, looking good, and 3, 2, and 1. Good. And come back to center and rest those hands on your hips. Tuck those toes back behind you. Take a step forward with one foot and come up to standing. Beautifully job. Beautifully job. Good job. Beautifully done. All right. And then let's open those arms to a T. Kick one foot to the side. Come to center and switch, and switch, and switch. So we did this move at the beginning of class, and notice how it feels differently now. Maybe you feel some fatigue in certain muscle areas. And breathe for 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Good. All right, let's set one of the dumbbells down to the side. And then we'll put the dumbbell in the right hand. We'll kick that left leg out behind with the left hand on the hip. And then we'll begin to lean forward, coming into a balanced challenge. If it feels okay and safe for you, you can keep that arm so it's somewhat parallel to the ground, or not. So any modification is fine for 4, and 3, 2, and 1. And then come back up to center, both feet together. And then we'll do that on the other side, kicking the other leg out behind. Begin to lean forward. Yeah, taking that balance challenge. You guys look amazing. And breathe. Yeah. For 4, and 3, 2, loving it, and 1, and come back up to center. Nice job. All right, let's set both dumbbells down to the side. Swing those arms from side to side. Yep, and notice if this move feels different than it did at the beginning of class. It certainly does for me. For 3, and 2, and 1, and come back to center. All right, I'm going to keep you guys just about a minute over. It's 9:20 exactly right now, but I want to do just a little bit more neck work. So place your hand onto your temple, kind of like, oh, I should have had a V8, and then gently apply pressure into your hand with your head. Your head's not moving through space, but the muscles are recruited. And when we do neck work, remember, we want to do it lightly. So about a 3 on a scale of 1 to 10. For 3, 2, and 1, release the pressure, and then take the other hand to the other side. Oh, I should have had that other V8. And then gently apply pressure from your hand into your head. It's that isometric contraction. And breathe. By the way, what's black and white and red all over? Your Pilates instructor. For 3 and 2 and 1 and release. Good. And then just allow, just tick-tock your head from side to side and notice how that feels. For 2 and 1 and come to center. All right, guys, beautiful work, everyone. Let's reach those arms up overhead. Drop those shoulders. Good. Curl those fingertips over, tuck the chin to the chest, roll down, vertebrae by vertebrae. Coming all the way down. When you get to the bottom, take any move that feels normal or natural, or stillness is okay too. For 3 and 2 and 1, softness in the knees, weight in the toes, head is heavy. And begin to roll up vertebrae by vertebrae. Coming all the way up. And last to come up is the head. When you get to the top, bring those shoulders up, back and down, up, back and down. Notice how loose they feel. Up, back, and down, and walk into your day with your awesome posture. Really nice work, everyone. Oh, I love that little curtsy. We actually did curtsy work today. At any rate, thanks so much, you guys, for coming. I hope you feel amazing.